Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XII. We have finally made it back to Rabanastre, and Vaan has begun to question the things that he had thought about, I guess, so much for the past 2 years. For example, Captain Bosch. He had always thought that Bosch was this murderer and this horrible person had killed his brother and plunged his country into this war that had no chance of winning, killing the king and all that kind of stuff. Bosch, of course, says it didn't happen quite that way. He goes and says that it was my brother, my twin brother, who had gone and done this, and I'm innocent, and he wants to fight for Rabanastre's future. But, well, Vaan is beginning to question whether he should be trusting him or not.
Vaan, is it really you? I heard you got took off to Nalbina.
The Imperials will need more than a dungeon to stop me.
You broke out of a dungeon? Whoa!
Hey, try and keep it down, would ya? Penelo isn't around, is she? Out on a delivery, maybe?
Nope, haven't seen her all day. Not like her to up and skip out on work like that. Miguelo's not here either. He went running off somewhere a little while ago.
So much for my big welcome. I guess everybody's busy.
I got my hands full watching the shop, and old Dallin had something for me to do, but I can't get away.
Old Dallin, huh? Tell you what, I'll go see him for you.
Really?
Well, nothing better to do.
Okay. He's gotta go see old Dallin. Well, yeah, like I was saying before, Vaan is beginning to question all the things he had thought about Bosch before. He doesn't quite know at this point whether he could be trusting him or not, but he's warming up to the idea. Now, another, I'll call it interesting thing happened when Vaan asked what Balthier and Fran intended with the Goddess Magicite. It was the stone that we had found while raiding the Royal Palace back a number of episodes ago. And, I mean, Vaan went in there just hoping to find whatever he could find. I imagine both Fran and Balthier had gone into the palace with the intention of finding that stone. But after all that, after all the trouble they got into it, after everything that happened, getting sent to the dungeons, fighting their way out, all that kind of stuff, they appear to have basically given up on it. Now, it seems a little weird. All that effort, all that time, all that pain and suffering, and now you're just willing to wash your hands of the thing and not at least try to claim the prize, which is standing right in front of you. And to me, that sort of calls into question what may be their motivation for doing the kinds of things that they do. Now, one something that really irritated me, but I'm just going to have to go and live with it at this point because I don't feel like doing anything to rectify the problem. Right here, there's a treasure chest right here. Now, if you recall, a number of episodes ago, I don't remember if I called attention to this or not, but there was a treasure chest here that I decided I wasn't going to go and open. The reason why I wasn't going to open it is because there are a number of things that people call forbidden chests in this game. There are chests that you can open, you can get the items inside of it, but in the event that you want to gain the most powerful weapon in the game at a fairly early stage, and it makes the game so much easier and all that kind of stuff, you do not want to be opening these chests, because by opening this chest and a number of other ones, you are basically eliminating your chance of getting that weapon. I intentionally didn't open this, just leaving the door open in case I wanted to go and get that weapon. But something happened a few episodes ago, and I ended up recording like 6 episodes or so, where the audio of my commentary was completely unintelligible. You couldn't understand it. The volume was too low. I was actually sick at the time too, so my voice didn't sound right. So I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go and re-record all those episodes. But I didn't have a save game set up at that point, of that playthrough. But then I looked at my test playthrough that I had made, and I had made it to about this point in the game, had a save game right about 10 minutes or so before I had to start like before the point in which my episode started to go bad. So I just loaded that save game up and started playing from there, and I'd forgotten that during my test play, if I'm calling it that, I'd opened this chest. So now I've continued on with the game for 2 hours, playing the game, having eliminated my chance of getting that ultimate weapon. And although it's irritating, it's kind of pissing me off a little bit, but it's just something I'm going to live with and continue on. I'm not going to put any effort into fixing that.
Well, well, look who we have here. Heard you were sent off to Nalpina.
And I got out of there as fast as I could. But it was all worth it, Down. Here, look at this.
My, quite a treasure you've got there.
Well, you know, I couldn't have done it without your help.
So, there is more to this gutter churl than first meets the eye. Vaan, I've an errand, a simple favor to beg of you. I was going to ask that Kites to go, but I should think that you ought to do. No, I think you're just the one. There's a fellow by the name of Azalas, and I need you to bring this sword to him.
That's a sword of the old order.
Speak my name when you arrive. That should be enough to get you in to see him. I've made a note on your map showing you where he can be found. Mind you, you are to deliver the sword to him personally.
I will. Hey, Down, do you think I could get you to do something for me? I need you to find out where Penelo is. I wanted to show her what I got from the palace, but I haven't been able to find her anywhere. Can you let me know if you hear anything?
You can just leave that to me.
Thanks, Down.
And so it is done, but will it be enough to remind him of what the Order once meant?
Okay, we have this... Oh, okay, we gotta get out of here. Old Dallin has given us a sword. Now, it's not something that we can equip or anything like that. At least I don't think so. Let's take a quick look. Nope, we can't use it. Wait, hold on, is he using the wrong weapon? Oh no, we're good. We gotta go and take this sword of the Old Order. Now, the Old Order at the time, at the Knights Order of Dalmasca, the guys that had gotten themselves killed fighting the Empire. So we gotta go take this sword to, well, you can assume that the name that old Dallin had given us was in fact not a real one. All these old Dalmascan knights are probably living in the shadows, probably trying to hide from the Empire, because, well, bad stuff would, I imagine, would happen to them if they ever proclaim themselves, if you know what I mean. Now that I think about it, these maps are much bigger than they really need to be. Azalisk, who was that? That was now that I think about it, that's not a pseudonym, that's not a handle or anything. That is the last name of Vossler, the guy that we had seen in the beginning of the game.
Then what do you make of Andor's proclamation? Are you suggesting they fooled even the Marquis?
What if a judge killed the king, not the captain? That would explain everything, wouldn't it?
In that case, the captain would be brother to a judge. How are we to trust such a man?
Huh?
Now there is the Bosch that I remember.
Then will you fight again at my side?
His word alone convinces me of nothing.
I'd take his word over that of a mouthpiece Marquis.
Then you name Rex liar with him.
My brother was no liar!
Just the opposite. Rex was the witness they needed. They had to make it appear as if I killed the king. Rex bears no blame. The fates have willed it.
So this is Rex's brother. Your words may convince a child such as this, but they weigh far too lightly on the scales for my taste. Our past will remain separate.
Do you not think Amalia worth saving?
I hold men's lives in my hands. I must see foes in every shadow. The night we moved against Vaan, he knew. I will not chance such disadvantage again. I must treat you as I would Ondor, as I would treat any abettor of the Empire.
Then what will you do? Hold me here in chains? Some things never change, do they?
Listen to me, Bosch. Your cage may have no bars, but it is a cage. The eyes of the Resistance watch unblinking.
Let them watch. I know something of cages.
That's right. Amalia's in the Resistance.
Then you know her.
Sorta. We met just before we got sent to Nalbina. I've known nicer people.
Our paths keep crossing, yours and mine. It's more than coincidence.
It's annoying.
I'm sorry. Allow me one last annoyance, a favor to ask. I want you to take me to Balthier. Even caged birds need wings.
This makes us even.
Even?
For Nalbina. We couldn't have done it without you.
I don't know what kind of resentment that Vaan may still hold for Bosch, but it appears as though he's at least willing to put it aside for the goals of whatever he's getting involved with. Now, it does seem that our previous thoughts about what had happened back when the king was killed were in fact true. It was a plot to kill the king. They wanted the king killed so they could basically take over Dalmasca without any sort of terms of surrender or anything like that. And that could be an issue as long as a king is still alive. But if they eliminate the royal family, then there we go. It's much easier for the Empire, even if they do have to fight a harder war. So they kill the king, and Rex actually served a purpose unwittingly in this plan as well. He needed to survive just long enough to see the king dead, to see somebody who he thought was Bosch do it, and then go and tell everybody about what had happened.
A lot of kids lost their parents in the war. Mine had already died before that. The plague took them both.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
It's okay. It's been 5 years now. After that, I lived with my friend Penelo and her family. Then the war came.
I am sorry.
You don't have to keep apologizing. Really, it's all right. I know it wasn't your fault. I see that now. You didn't kill my brother. It was the Empire. My brother trusted you. And he was right.